Hey, welcome to Long Distance Sisters.
I'm Tori.
I'm McKenna.
And I'm Serena.
Come chat with us while we're far apart.
Okay, let's get started.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
You can probably guess what our theme is if you were watching the video version, because that's right, I have on my Mickey ears, or mini ears.
And I have mini ears on the wall behind me.
Yeah, so we meaning McKenna and I, Tori, are going to... Yeah, Serena can't make it. Serena can't make it this week. So McKenna and I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about the Disney College program, because we both did it at the same time, actually.
Unplanned.
Unintentionally, but yeah, it just worked out that way. So we are going to talk about our experience there working for the mouse, because we miss it every day.
Yeah.
But glad I'm making more money than that.
Yes. So I guess we'll just say our roles real quick. We did it fall 2019 to start. We didn't do fall advantage, which is like you start in the summer. Like I started in August, she started early September. But I was a cast member at Mission Space, the attraction at Epcot, famous for making people throw up. Tori?
Nice. I worked in merchandise on Main Street USA at the Emporium, which is the second largest store, but the busiest store in terms of sales. And yeah, it was literally insane.
I'm guessing it's second only to World of Disney.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. World of Disney. And then a close third is Mouse Gear, which is now Creations. But yeah, it was a crazy place to work. I mean, just being the fact that it's on Main Street USA, it's just insanity, because you don't only have shopper traffic, but you just have people cutting through the store traffic. Like after fireworks, it's just shoulder to shoulder in there. And yeah, but it was a lot of fun. Kept me on my toes for sure.
I guess we can just touch on the application process, because that's kind of where everything started. Well, obviously we also watch a few DCP YouTubers, like Michelle Bay was a family favorite, and Emily Enchanted. Did you watch any other story before you went down?
Not YouTubers. I followed a lot of people like on Instagram, but that was really it.
Okay, well, I applied the day applications dropped, and which was like January, I don't know, 23rd or something. And I did not hear back until February 6th, I want to say. And I took like the web-based interview, which is the first thing they do if your application like passes, I guess. And that's kind of like a personality survey. And I hear the more like extreme ends you should take, like the more confident your answers, like, oh, I would do this, instead of, oh, I might do this. That like makes you appear better, more assertive or confident in your job. I took that, and then pretty much right away I was sent a link for it to schedule my phone interview, which I did on February 14th. And then I didn't find out for, I think, another 2.5 weeks that I got it. And I only found out that I got attractions at that point in time. And in my interview, they asked me about attractions, watercraft, and I believe either lifeguarding or children's activities. I'm pretty sure lifeguarding. And all of my attractions questions, because obviously like on Instagram, I'm Disney Safari Girl. I love Animal Kingdom. That is my park. And all of my questions, like attractions related questions they asked me in the phone interview, were like, oh, do you feel comfortable driving a vehicle while talking to a group of 40 or more people? Can you memorize a bunch of animal facts? Stuff like that. So it was obvious where they were leading. I think I just chose too late of a start date to get Kilimanjaro safaris because I didn't really hear anyone my start date or later say they got that attraction. But I ended up on Mission Space and it was great. A great experience.
So I had always planned to do the DCP, and I figured I would do it after graduation because you can apply within 6 months of your graduation from college.
And that's
And
changed now. That's changed now.
Okay, well,
I think it might even be up to like 2 years, at least 1 year.
I had been set on that for a really long time, and then I just was like thinking I wasn't gonna do it because I don't know. I wanted to be more responsible than that, I guess. Because I was graduating from physical therapy school, which, I didn't have time to do it while I was in school because I was on such a strict track because I was on like an advanced track to do my graduate courses like early and a whole mess. So finally, applications were out and I was just like, oh, I should just apply. So I applied on like one of the last days. So I think it was like late February when I applied. One of the last days applications were open, and I immediately got my web-based interview and then immediately got my link to schedule a phone interview. I did my phone interview like the next week. So now it's like early March. And from there, I didn't hear anything until like late April. Like the last day that you could hear is when I heard. Like over a month had gone by and I was just like, I didn't get it. I had given up on it. And then like on the last day, there it was, accepted. So it was very exciting. And by then I was like, yeah, I don't feel like starting real life yet. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Disney World. So it was nice to know that I had that cushion after I took my board exams and stuff for college. I had applied to do maybe early, what do they call it?
Advantage.
Early advantage or fall, summer advantage, whatever.
Fall advantage.
But I would have had to be working there while studying and taking my board exam. And I was just like, yeah, maybe that's not the best idea. So on my phone interview, I was like, yeah, I just want to do fall. I don't want to do fall advantage. So I was worried that kind of had screwed me over, but apparently not. They understood because I was like, no, I have a board exam to take. That would be stupid. And they were like, yeah, probably don't do that. Even if it feels like it's been forever since you heard, there's still hope.
Yeah, and I didn't decide to do it until maybe a week before applications dropped. I just figured out with my schedule that I had a free semester. So I didn't want to, and at that time I was planning on going to vet school. So I didn't want to have like graduation and then wait 8 months until I went back to school because then I'd have, so I just was like, I'll just go in the middle. In the fall, I was like just kind of toying, like fall 2018, I was kind of toying with the idea, oh, what if I did a Disney college program? Haha. I was like, and since it would have been the next fall, I knew that. I signed up for a class that was only offered in the fall that I was planning on taking fall 2019. I was like, oh, I'll just take it fall 2018 just to be safe, just in case by some random chance I do the Disney college program next fall.
Yeah. I'll also say with applications, I did my research when I was applying to try and like figure out how best to apply, right? How to set yourself up for success. And I would say there's no right or wrong answer. Like everything will tell you different stuff. And I don't know. I mean, the web-based interview, it's similar personality kind of test to a lot of corporate jobs that you would apply to, or not corporate jobs, but jobs within corporations that you would apply to where they're looking for consistency, confidence, teamwork, team ethic. So that is like the easy part to pass. Like if you can pass that, I think that's just a pass fail thing that they have. I don't know how they grade it. But then for the application itself, I had the impression that I had to put as many job preferences as possible to, get considered, right? Because that's what a lot of these blogs say. But because I was in this point where I was like, well, if I get it and it's like something I want to do, then yeah, I would totally do it. But like, I would be unhappy doing a job that I don't want. So I didn't want to work with food. I didn't want to do custodial. I only wanted to do a certain few things, and I only put those things. I like only put 3 jobs on my 3 really considered jobs, and then the rest were like the fruity ones that I don't think anyone really got. Like I put attractions, merchandise, and what was my other top one? Oh, photo pass. I might have put recreation, like resort recreation, whenever that was. And then like at the bottom they had stuff and I was like event planning and floral and wedding, and I was like, oh yeah, totally, I would do that. But like I don't know if anyone who got those positions. But yeah, I really went in thinking I wanted attractions, like straight up. But I was really, really happy at the Emporium. I was kind of nervous when I got merchandise because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get stuck at like a hotel or something, and I really want to be in the park. But I lucked out and got like the ideal position for my brain, which was being in the Emporium. So yeah, I got to see the castle every shift. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
And the
when
fireworks. Fireworks. Sorry.
When you get your acceptance, they only tell you like your general role. And I ticked off a lot of roles, but like I didn't do custodial. I didn't do housekeeping because like chemical smell makes me real nauseous real fast. I didn't do quick service either. And they say like I think they had high demand jobs that they really needed people for, and they were quick service, custodial, and lifeguarding. And I was cool with lifeguarding, so I signed up for that. And there is a swim test you would have to take if you got that. And if you don't pass it, they'll just place you somewhere else. So when you are accepted, you find out your general role, attractions, merchandise. And then a week before we went down, they sent us like our general area. So I guess Tori, you just got Main Street, maybe
I got
the
Main
side.
Street East or whatever. Again,
feel
I
like
don't know
if
which
the
is east and
castle's
west.
north, I feel like it would be west.
I
I don't know if the
I
castle's
don't-
north.
I'm not sure that's how it was.
She got the Emporium side of Main Street.
Yeah, because Main Street is basically divided in two. The Emporium is one of those two, and everything else Main Street is the other.
And I got Future World, I want to say East, which could either be Test Track or Mission Space. And obviously I got Mission Space. For my phone interview, I did so much research on what to do. I had literally like 12 sheets of paper in front of me with like potential questions they could ask me and my answers. I put on my giraffe ears for that, my giraffe Mickey ears, and for that and my web-based interview. And it was just like, it was a thing. Like I prepared hard. Tori, how did you prepare?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope that that generation of people taking it like so over seriously is in the past, because looking back, I don't really feel like we needed to. Like, I don't know. I know there's people that don't get in, but I don't know. I don't think that the preparation is what makes or breaks that. I think it's the person, and just your answers to things. So prepare like for any other interview, but like I feel like most of us prepared more for that DCP interview than we ever will for any job interview ever. Like, where I really feel like you need to just be positive, even though you're just on the phone, smile as you talk, because they can hear it. And what's Disney about? Be polite, be positive, be kind of a little bit energetic or bubbly, and they're gonna latch right onto you. And as long as your answers don't put up any red flags, I think you're a shoo-in. Like, basically for me, they just asked me about my experience, my work experience, and in ways that they were talking a lot about sales, because I've done a lot of sales stuff. It's pretty much the same questions. I prepared by, doing practice questions I would find online, especially ones that are like the more creative side, because you do have to be prepared to be creative, because they might give you a scenario where you're talking to a child and you want to kind of keep the show and keep the magic. So have an answer for that kind of stuff. But I mean, also online, those places where they have those example questions, they have example answers, and you can just use one of those. It's fine. Like, they at least know you kind of understand the deal. So yeah. But
And I recommend, like with any job interview, have at least one question prepared to ask them. Like, one question I really liked that I asked was, what was something that surprised you after you started working for the company? And I think she really liked that, because she got to go into something personal about herself.
yeah. I think I asked something like similar, like about just like Disney legacy, like in their time at the company. I honestly don't remember too much.
I asked about volunteers as well, like tears, EARS at the end.
And I asked about something physical therapy related, like if it would be possible to be in contact with someone or like shadow or something. And everyone I asked that throughout my entire experience said, yeah, totally, here's contact information, and nothing ever came of it. So as a PT trying to go to the college program and be like, maybe I can be a Disney PT, no. It's hard. It's gonna be hard. They do have them, but they're third party contracted employees. But they do have like a lot of athletic trainers and people at like their sporting events. And that's who I tried to get in with, but no avail.
Oh well.
Yeah. But yeah, just ask about the opportunities. As long as they see you're going there for a real opportunity and you're not just like, I don't know.
It's Disney. I get into Disney for free.
Exactly.
Yay.
Yeah. Like, as long as they see that you're actually interested in the developmental side of it, like the professional development, which even if your field that you're going into is not directly like hospitality, it's applicable. I mean, this is customer service, this is sales, this is marketing, you learn it all just by working for this company, because every single cast member is marketing for Disney. Every single cast member is keeping up the show and keeping up the whole idea of Disney and being courteous, just upholding that whole thing. And you start to see marketing everywhere and see how Disney works behind the scenes. And it's like the best crash course in customer service you'll ever have. Even if you've done customer service before and think you know it, this is different.
Yeah, and
for anything. Sorry.
When you apply to jobs, like even if the person's not the biggest Disney fan or they don't like Disney, they will see that experience as valuable, because you really are like thrown in it. You have to be able to maintain the Disney look, keep a smile on your face, handle guests well, or else you'll become a story. Like or you'll be termed, like aka fired, early, and they'll see that when you have a end date that ends before any program really ends, unless you tell them that you self-termed, aka quit.
Yeah, every interview I've had since the college program, they've asked me about Disney being on my resume, which I keep it on there. This is another thing. I keep it on there because even though I'm a physical therapist and they say you should only put related jobs, and I have enough related jobs to fill the whole thing, Disney is related. Like, first of all, Disney is going to stand out. So they're going to remember your resume, especially if, I mean, I live in Orlando, so a lot of people have Disney, but you're going to stand out if you live anywhere else. And they're going to remember it, which means they're going to remember you. They're going to ask you about it. And you have this treasure trove to pull from when they ask you, like, well, how did you deal with a tough situation with a customer? Or, what was a conflict that you had with a client, like, or what was the hardest day at work you ever had? Like, you're gonna have a gold mine to pull from working at Disney. And yeah, it's always going to come up in your interviews, like from then on. And yeah, it'll make you stand out.
Yeah, the area manager for the restaurant I served at before I came down to the Sea Trail Center, before like the first time I met him, he was like, "Oh, you're the one who worked at Disney." And so he only called me like Disney. Now onto housing, which has obviously changed since we were there.
Yes.
So we probably won't dive too deep into it. I lived in Patterson Court. We were 6 people, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. So each room had their own bathroom. Yeah, 6 roommates is a lot to share one living room and one small kitchen. But I think we made it work pretty well. I mean, we all had certain things about each person that was like, oh, if only they didn't do that. But for me, none of it was like major enough to really cause any tension, because no, it's going to be hard to find a perfect roommate, especially because I only picked my direct roommate. So it was basically like 3 people who had paired together, randomly placed in those groups. And it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I lived at the Commons, and we had 2 bedrooms and 5 people. So it was 2 in one and 3 in the other. I was one of the first ones there, so I was in the 2 in one, which was also like twice as big a room. So not fair at all, Disney, but I'm not complaining. And, but honestly, I was surprised that the apartments were as spacious as they were. Like, I know we were fitting a lot of people in them, but like they were still bigger than like most college dorms, in my opinion. At least mine was. Mine was pretty huge. And we had in-room laundry, which I think the Commons is the only place that has that. Yeah, like honestly, the rent that they charge you is not that much. And they take it right out of your paycheck, which is kind of
Before
nice. You don't
taxes.
have to, yeah, before taxes, so you don't really have to worry about it. And yeah, I had a good experience. I mean, of course, it's dated college dorm room furniture and kitchen, so it's not anything fancy back then. Now it is. But it was good. And you only have to live there temporarily. And we had a great pool. Like, our pool was beautiful. And just, yeah, pretty good amenities in general. So
our pool was pretty too, and we had like pool of the game outside of it. We had kind of like a small gym, and apparently like people from Chatham Square and stuff would come to our gym because it was better, but I didn't really think so. But now at the like college program, and even like regular cast members and third-party cast members can live at Flamingo Crossings Village, and the gym there is gorgeous. It reminds me of my college gym, which I went to like UGA and SEC school, which had a massive, absolutely massive gym. So yeah, now the gym and other facilities, including furniture, have been very upgraded.
they have like TVs in the room now. We had to bring our TV. Like,
Yeah, they got much nicer couches. They've got room dividers.
like marble countertops.
One other thing about housing, I did not have a car and Tori did. Tori did take me to Walmart to grocery shop once a month. Well, we went to Publix one time, but that was way more expensive than Walmart. But I had to bus to and from work. I was always on time, if not early to work, usually early. Because for buses, like the last bus I could take to get to work on time, I always tried to make it to the bus before that. So that helped, because that dropped me off at like kind of the cast building in behind the scenes Epcot. I had to walk behind the scenes, like past Test Track, to get to Mission Space, which was very cool. And it was like, I don't know, 5-6 minute walk. So nothing bad. But yeah, buses, I was fine. And I did take the bus to Walmart to grocery shop one time. And it was much nicer to have Tori there with the car to take me to and from Walmart.
Yeah, those college program buses are no joke. So you want to be prepared for the worst when you're taking them.
Yeah.
Luckily, I never took the bus. Well, maybe like a couple times. But no, I drove to work, and thank God, because I'm a right on time person. I'm not necessarily early or late. And in order to get to work, I had to drive to the Magic Kingdom cast parking lot, walk to a bus stop, take a shuttle that took us to the back of Magic Kingdom, walk all the way to the front of Magic Kingdom underground, and then I could clock in. So, I mean, that takes you 15 minutes from the time you park your car. And that's if you could get a parking spot that was close to the bus stop and not a 5 minute away from the bus stop. So it could be a 20-25 minute affair. Often I did not leave myself that much time and was just like sprinting down the tunnels to get to the front of Magic Kingdom. But luckily, I could do that all in the tunnels, because some people have to like go on stage before they clock in. And so like you could get stopped by a guest or something because you're like in your costume, and that would just slow you down, I feel like. Plus, like, guests are unpredictable. You could get stuck walking behind some ECVs and who knows. So luckily I could sprint because I was just underground. But man, talk about, but while I did have to clock in at that time, we did get actually paid for 10 extra minutes on both ends of our shift for the walk because it's so far. I mean, I could sprint it in like 5 minutes, but like, you know, there's like the old people, it's probably taking them 30 minutes from the time they park their car to get to where they're clocking in. Like, it's not fair to not be compensated for some of that time. Like, that's not normal. Like,
Yeah.
it was really fun. Like, I loved walking through the tunnels and like seeing some characters and like being like, oh, they're getting ready to go out on a parade or whatever. Like, it was just bustling, and they would have stuff for us in the tunnels. Like, sometimes Mickey would be there and you could stop and get a picture with Mickey, or they'd be handing out treats and stuff. So it was really fun. I love the tunnels. The utilidors.
Now onto one of the best perks of being part of the Disney College program, that freedom to go to the parks, because we did get into parks for free. Of course, blockout dates applied. So we were there when Galaxy's Edge opened. So we were blocked from Hollywood Studios for most of our program, I want to say. Other than that, like, just being able to go into the parks and relax and enjoy your time and not feel pressed for time, I thought was super nice. And if I ever didn't really know what I wanted to do, I actually made a like Disney College program bucket list, which is now just my Disney bucket list. And I might just pick something off of that.
Yeah, it was great. Like, just going in the parks so casually, especially if you were going in like before or after a shift where you didn't even have to like commute there, like, or drive there. You're just like, I'm here. And I went to the parks alone a lot, which was actually really, really awesome. Because I could just take the time to look around, do what I wanted, pop in for fireworks or whatever. Like, there were times I was showing up at Epcot. I would walk in at like 8:30 for the 10 o'clock fireworks, grab some food somewhere and just sit and chill. And like, it was great.
Yes. And I forgot to mention, part of working at Mission Space, I was also trained on like the Fast Pass area for fireworks. So I was working there for Illuminations and Epcot Forever, which was a very cool thing. And there are 4 ducks that hang around that area. So kind of at the front of World Showcase. 1 boy, 1 girl, 3 boys, all named George. Girl George is dating one of the boy Georges, but she also goes to see another male duck in the UK, Canada area. Some things on my bucket list, I'm just seeing like going to a Halloween party or Christmas party because they were discounted for us. I went on the Liberty Bell, so that boat that takes like a 20-minute trip around Thomas Sawyer Island. And I actually like brought my own lunch that day, so I just stood at a railing and ate my lunch while looking at the views. I went down Summit Plummet at Blizzard Beach Water Park. I rode a friendship boat. I tried hummus fries. I went to the store Cast Connections, which has super discounted stuff. I bought a pair of new ears. It's these ears hanging behind me that are Haunted Mansion and have the busts of the guys that sing real deep. Very cool. Oh, see Michelle Bay in real life, which I did, working at her attraction, Splash Mountain. I did the Fossil Fun games in Dino Land, and I played 3 of them, which I think cost like $12 or $15. And I won 2 plushes, which is a good trade for Disney souvenirs. And now the plushes are way cute. I put this at the end of my bucket list. It wasn't originally on there, but I did one time have a drunk guest, it's Epcot, say that he loved me multiple times and that he wanted to marry me. I don't know. Oh my gosh, the memories. Oh, ride the Skyliner. Yeah, Tori and I went with some of her roommates, our Nana and our mom, for the cast preview of the Disney Skyliner, which was fun. I didn't buy a whole lot while I was there, but on my list I had like buy something with Stitch, which I actually ended up getting for Christmas. Got my Stitch Loungefly wallet. Or like buy something with the Toy Story alien. So at Cast Connections, they have an area where it's all like broken merchandise or something like that, something they totally can't sell. So I bought an alien key, like a Toy Story alien keychain for $1. Great buy. Like that's literally that and like a broken $1 Illuminations tumbler are the only merchandise I bought, and the ears. But yeah, just the freedom to go to the parks. It was so nice. And alone time, like Tori, yeah. Like just do whatever you want whenever you want. You can go with friends, yeah. Like my roommates and I, during our first week, we went to 50's Primetime Cafe in Hollywood Studios together.
I loved just like being a part of the cast exclusive stuff. Like that was on my bucket list to do like a cast preview, and I actually got to do 2 of them, not both during my program though. So I actually, at the end of my program, I applied to stay on as seasonal, and I got it at the literal last second, which was good because I had already decided to stay in Orlando. But I mean, I also got my big girl job, my PT job, but it was really nice to keep seasonal at Disney. Unfortunately, that went away during the pandemic, but honestly, Disney handled all of that really well on the back end in my scenario, because I was seasonal, so I wasn't expecting much. I mean, I can't speak for people who are part-time, full-time, and actually depending on that job, but since it was my fun side job, I was not expecting to be handed anything by Disney during the pandemic, and they kept me on way longer. When they told us that we were being let go, they still gave us like another, I want to say 3 months with access to all of our benefits. So like our discount, our park ticket, and I got to keep my park ticket even while I was furloughed. I could go into the park still like for free, use my 50% off discount, like go to Cast Connections, all the fun stuff. And then they also gave like really good like severance kind of pay, and yeah, like it was great. Not to say too much. But yeah, in general, great experience for me. But anyway, back to cast exclusive stuff. So yeah, we did the Skyliner preview, and then I also did the Mickey Minnie Runaway Railway preview, which was after my program, but while I was still seasonal. I also did a holiday filming, which was exclusive to cast members. I saw Sting and
Matthew Morrison.
No, well, yeah,
Right?
Matthew Morrison was hosting, but who sang? It was Sting and the Shaggy singing Christmas music. So it was funny. But what was really cool about that, the best part, honestly, was because it was at night. It was after the park closed, but we had to get there before fireworks started so that we wouldn't be just, like limited from getting there because of the crowds leaving the park. So you had to be there before fireworks, which meant we got like reserved front row viewing of the fireworks without a crowd around us because it was fairly empty, honestly, except for right up at the stage while they were filming. But yeah, it was like really peak. Just being part of cast exclusive stuff was really, really cool. So that was bucket list stuff for me. I did Halloween party, Christmas party, tried lots of food and snacks. I went to Typhoon Lagoon. Yeah, just hung out, did all the things. Jelly rolls.
Oh yeah.
Best thing at Disney that literally like no one knows about.
Yeah, dueling piano bar. Sunday night was cast member night. So cast members got in for free, and I think everyone else was like half off.
Yeah. And it was
to
a
me, I
wild
would
night,
just-
let me tell you.
Yeah, and if you went any other night as a cast member, I think it was half off for you or something.
Mhm.
So I personally, it was way too crowded for me on Sundays. So I would much rather just go later in the week and pay like $8 or whatever half off was. But they have like free popcorn there, at least when we were there. That place is so much fun. I recommend it for a night out in Disney.
Mhm.
If you're not feeling Disney Springs, you can do the boardwalk. So discounts. Merchandise in general is like 20%. Cast members get free parking. Was it 10% at Joffrey's location? And like a bunch of other third-party locations like Aaron McKenna's Bakery. We found out that if you go to Everglades Donuts in Disney Springs, the last half hour they're open, it's 50% off for cast members. And then since we were there for the fall, we got the holiday time discount, which was 40% off merchandise. And then we also got some like a coupon for a free photo pass photo, and then a 30%, 40%, and 50% off dining coupons, which for those, my boyfriend and I used the 50% off at Cape May Cafe, 40% off at Yachtsman, which we had not the best experience at Yachtsman, just saying. So I'm glad we only had to pay 60% of the price. And then I think it was toward the end of my program and I still had the 30% off one. So I just went to Sunshine Seasons in Epcot and got like some kind of hummus platter. And then their cupcake there is plant-based. So I got that because it was like a big one and I'd wanted to try it. Where did you use your dining coupon, Story?
I do not remember. I know I used one at Hollywood and Vine. Well, I don't know if I used it. I went with my roommate, so we used some ones because you could always use them for like the whole table. It's not like per card or whatever. So we definitely used it at Hollywood and Vine for the Christmas dinner with all the characters, and that was really fun. I used a lot of them with my roommates, I think. So like we stretched them. That was one thing though, coming here. I went to try like all the restaurants because I always want to try all of them, and that was my chance, especially with the discount. So I ate like at a lot of table services, like a lot of them. So I don't remember which ones I used my discount at, but yeah, a lot.
Tori and I started our programs 2 weeks apart, and like 1 week right in the middle was her birthday. So I had already had my cast member discount at that point. So we went to Jico, which is a signature dining restaurant. It's at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So it's like I guess more exotic food for the general American people.
Yes, I would say so.
Very, very good. And for like Thanksgiving, a few of my like fellow CPs from Mission Space, but we got to like go to Restaurant Marrakesh for Friendsgiving. And even though cast member discounts at Disney locations are blocked on Thanksgiving, they were third party, so they still took our discount. That leads me into friendships, roommates versus fellow cast members, and even further, maybe fellow cast members versus other college program participants. So my roommates and I, yeah, we got along. We were friends. We went and did some stuff together. Like we went to like Polynesian or Disney Springs, like I said, 50's Primetime Cafe earlier, Blizzard Beach. But I feel like I was closer with the people that I worked with. Some like regular cast members were included in that, but mostly other college program participants. What about you, Tori?
A mix. My roommates and I, we got along really well. Like we were a very cohesive group and we always wanted to do things together. It was just really hard to find time when we were all off at the same time, because that's one thing you need to be prepared for if you're doing college program. Like you could have crazy hours. Your hours might never line up with your friends or your roommates, and you're really busy. You're working a lot. A lot of people work 6 days a week, and it's just a lot. Like you don't have that much free time, and the free time you do have, hopefully you're in the park, or you're asleep, pretty much. So it's really hard. It was hard to find a time that we could like all go to dinner together, or all go to a park together. But when we did, we definitely tried to, like, even if it meant making a last minute reservation like the day of, because we all realized like, oh my God, wait, we're all off at lunchtime today. We need to go out to lunch. Like that happened several times. So I was pretty close with my roommates. And I mean, we hung out like separately too with each other, like two of us would go to a park or whatever. So it was kind of nice always having someone around to like, oh, hey, you want to go to Animal Kingdom today? Sure. And you just go for a few hours, you know, even if maybe you both start a shift around 6 o'clock or something, that you can both kind of go during the day, and coordinate that. But other than that, yeah, I hung out a lot with other Emporium employees. I didn't really meet or get to know anyone who was just another participant that was not at my location or in my dorm. So just because I didn't really participate much in a lot of the events and stuff. So yeah. Lynn, you can't be playing with that.
For Mission Space, we had Space Bash, or I wish it would have been called Space Jam, but that's just me. We had that toward the end of our program, so we all got together, and going to other like CPs, dorms, that's how I met some other people, which was nice. But after the program ended, I do keep in contact more with the people I worked with rather than my roommates. And even like right now, the other day, one of them sent a message in our like group chat on Snapchat that they had bought plane tickets to go to Disney soon. And I'm like, I'm 3.5 hours away. And then 3 of them were like, I live here. We have to hang out. And then another girl who lives in California is like, I might or may not be looking at plane tickets. So we're like, reunion finally. But even once COVID hit, obviously, like Zoom happy hours and stuff were a thing. So we had virtual space bashes. And then one other girl lived in my area, and 2 other girls lived in my area in Georgia. And we had one person come up who was visiting one of them who he was really close with, and we all got dinner together later on in 2020. So that was really nice, and I really hope this reunion happens.
Yeah,
because that would be so much fun.
One of my friends from the Emporium came and visited like last year. So I hung out with her at Disney and Universal. I'm still friends with most of my roommates, talk to them pretty regularly. Of my roommates, I still hang out with the one that stayed in Orlando with me, and that's Allie. We were actually roommates after our college program. And since we moved out from living with each other, we still like hang out at the parks a lot and have puppy play dates. Well, hopefully we will.
And I think this is a lot like who we hung out with on our last day. So you hung out with your roommates on your last day. I went to Moe's with you guys. Then you took me to yours and Allie's apartments because I didn't feel like going to Magic Kingdom. But you guys all went to Magic Kingdom. And I spent my like last full day, which was technically the same as Tori's, but I kind of as kind of the day before, I went to Boma with a bunch of Mission Space CPs, and then some of us went to Epcot, and then we all kind of went off and did our own thing or joined our families. I did my own thing, and I finally tried maple popcorn that day too.
Nice.
Yeah,
I went to Magic Kingdom my last day. So happily ever after, along with all of the crying CPs, which was a lot of fun. Most people go see happily ever after on their last day. Like, it was literally only CPs around us. Like, you could tell. But yeah. But thinking of my last day of my program makes me think of the last day the parks were open before COVID, which I also made sure to go to because a lot of my friends actually extended their program. And so they were still CPs when COVID hit, and they like lost their CP role because of it. So it was like all of a sudden, a lot of my friends had to like leave. And so we did 4 parks in one day on that last day the parks were open. And then we ended it on Main Street watching Happily Ever After with like all of the Emporium CPs like that were currently working, like out on the street, just like sobbing. And it was quite magical. But
wasn't there a girl from Italy at the Emporium, and like she just found out she had to like go back to her country, and she's like, I'm
well,
not
yeah, all the
ready.
international people had to go back, and like it was a big struggle because they had to get like last minute flights out of the country with a pandemic coming. So a lot of flights were being canceled, and it was insanity. And their flights were like super expensive because they had to buy an international flight like 2 days with 2 days notice essentially. And yeah,
I think some were able, some Disney did have housing for people who weren't able to get back right away, I think.
Yeah,
Didn't they put them in
they
Thailand?
extended it a little bit for some people, but yeah. So that wasn't handled the best. But also they were worried about getting stuck in the US, you know, so they wanted to get out as soon as they could. Because we didn't know that it was going to last more than 2 weeks. And they just called off the college program entirely. So everyone just had to leave and know that they weren't coming back necessarily. And I mean, some of these people planned to be there for another year. So it was kind of like a shock. For sure, especially for international program people. Yeah. But anyway, back to the last day of CPs. It was like literally the day that I found out that I was going seasonal too, because I had been working so hard, talking to all my leaders, being like, come on, like, please, 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 I'm staying in Orlando. Please keep me on a seasonal. Like, I already know how to do everything. You know, I'm a good worker. Like, please, please, please. And finally, I talked to the right leader on one of my last shifts, and they're like, oh, okay, sure. And like the next day, I got the notice that it was approved, and I was like, thank God. And yeah, like the actual last second.
One thing I want to touch on real quick, because I'm sure some people would have questions, is like a long distance relationship while you're on the program. Of my 6 roommates, 4 of us came in with boyfriends. One girl, after in less than 3 weeks, broke up with her boyfriend. Another was on and off with her boyfriend, and they finally broke up, I think around Thanksgiving. So way later than any of us expected. But my boyfriend and I are still together. We started dating less than a year before I started the college program. Thankfully, he's a regular adult, so he could, and he worked for a bank, so he had bank holidays off, and he came down to visit once each month, which was very nice. More than a lot of people's parents came to visit, more than my parents came to visit. Definitely more than other people's partners came to visit them. And then another one of my roommates stayed with her now ex-boyfriend, but they did stay together throughout their time. but I'll go into my actual long distance relationship in another episode because all three of us sisters have been in long distance romantic relationships.
Yes.
So you can hear more about it then, whenever that may be.
Yeah. I think all of my roommates except one came in as single Pringles. And we all stayed that way.
Your roommate that came in with a boyfriend stayed with her boyfriend?
She didn't stay with him the whole time, but by the end she had another. But yeah, but honestly, okay, let me just say this. If you are worried that the fact that you are going away for like 4 to 6 months is going to result in a breakup, maybe you shouldn't be dating this person in the first place, because they should understand that you want to do the college program and that it's important to you. And you should not break up simply because you were not there. And if that is the reason, then you should not be together, possibly.
Yeah,
That is,
I mean,
but there are, of course, is the chance that you might meet someone else or someone might cheat, and that's different. That's a cheating problem, not a, well, we just couldn't handle long distance problem.
yeah. But like, it's obviously okay to be upset that you're not gonna be around your partner as much as you usually
Yes,
are.
of
I was
course.
very upset. Like the week before I moved down there, I called my boyfriend crying, like, I'm so sorry, I feel so bad. He's like, don't feel bad. Like, you deserve to do this. Go and do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, yeah, it might be sad because it's an adjustment. You're not seeing them all the time or whatever you're used to, but you don't have your part of your support system. But you just remember why you're doing it and why you're there, and that it's temporary. It's not like you're moving away indefinitely. It's for a short time. Like it's not that long.
Mm-hmm.
And it flies by and you're very busy, so
It really does fly by. Good Lord. Okay. If we chose to do Disney College Program again, which we won't, but if we did, would we choose spring or fall, and why? I would choose fall because Halloween decorations, Christmas decorations, holiday discounts, and all those extra coupons, and no spring break crowds for 2+ months.
I
Sorry.
agree. Yeah. I mean, you get 2 major holidays with decoration changes. Like a Magic Kingdom isn't decorated at all in the spring, I don't think. Like maybe a little bit for Easter, but like nothing like they do for Halloween and Christmas, which also means you get Halloween parties and Christmas parties and parades and discounts, all the fun perks.
Holiday
The
filming.
only thing that would have been better maybe with spring is the weather. Well, I don't know. I guess we still had a hot period and a colder period, but
Yeah.
I feel like it was cold half of our thing. So, which
But
was
Florida cold. So
Florida
not
cold,
actually
not
cold.
that bad. Like it was still cold.
Most
Like it
days.
was still kind of like uncomfortable to be out in the park for 8 hours cold, but not like actually cold.
Yeah, I think there might have been 1 or 2 days like a little below freezing. If not, like the real feel was below freezing a decent amount of times.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even if it's like
reasonable.
only 55 degrees or something, like that's not that cold if you're just like doing your life. But if you're standing outside in a park for 8 hours, it feels cold. Like it's not that comfortable. But it's doable. But anyway, but the spring CPs used to have a big party at like Typhoon Lagoon or something.
Oh yeah.
Which we did not get anything that fancy. We got like a formal, which was at Coronado Springs, which was like trying to be fancy, but it was like not that good. It was fun, but nothing compared to having a literal park closed down for you and have a pool party with a DJ and all this fun stuff. Like, no. I thought we were gonna have like a park closed down for us at some point, but no.
Yeah. I think one of my friends, well, friends through Instagram, I never met her in person. So someone I followed on Instagram who did the college program at the same time as us worked in Animal Kingdom, and they closed the park a little earlier one day and the cast members who worked at Animal Kingdom had like a cast member party. And I remember there being a few like Epcot get-togethers like that, but not something that would like close the park down. It being like one of those kind of secretive rooms, or in the like pavilion behind Canada and the UK that sometimes has some like food booths for festivals. There was a cast member event, and I remember I didn't go to it because my work schedule like was at a weird time. And they had like a little vehicle that for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure ready. I did a cast member preview. I forgot to mention this earlier, but I did a cast member preview for the Epcot experience, which wasn't all that much, but we got free photo pass photos from that, which was nice. I say do the college program if you want to do the college program. Obviously, I work in the wildlife field and with animal care and stuff. Mission Space doesn't relate to that, but I would still recommend it because it was a good time and good. No matter what field you work with, you have to deal with people. So deal with people at Disney. Enjoy the benefits. If you love Disney, have the time, do it.
Mm-hmm. It was, a great experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. And just, if you're thinking about it, just apply, just do it. Like, you're not held to any obligation. And even if you show up and move in, you can leave the next day if you want to. But like, it's so worth sticking it out. Like, yes, it's hard, but it's also like the most fun I've ever had. So like everything, like going to work at Magic Kingdom, sometimes it felt like going to work and I didn't want to go. But a lot of times it felt like, wow, I'm going to work in Magic Kingdom. Like, Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
So, you just have to remember why you're there. And, remember the magic that you're making for all these people around you. Like, yes, you're working, but these people every single one of them is experiencing a magical day at Magic Kingdom or a magical day at Epcot. Like, they're all having a great day and it's their vacation and they're mostly in a good mood. And it's so different because of that from anywhere else that you might work, where people are just having a normal life day. Like, these people are having a great day.
Yeah.
They may be moody because they're tired and grumpy, but they're having a great day.
Yeah. Like, there were several times I didn't want to go into work, but then I did go into work and it was great. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And even I had multiple like 12+ hour shifts. Like, my last shift on New Year's Eve was 15 and a half hours. But honestly, those long shifts were some of the most fun because I wasn't like always looking at my watch and being like, all right, 6 hours, 5 hours, 4.5 hours. I was just like, I'm here. Let's just do it. And, one time I worked 9 days. I only had 1 day off at both ends. But I enjoyed it. I mean, when you go down there, you go down there to work. You don't go down there for all play. So I went down there and I worked. I like called out 1 day in my entire program. And I didn't get all of my like advanced time off requests or whatever. I think I maybe got 2 out of the 5 days we were allowed. But it was,
did you apply for ERs?
I applied for one like once.
An ER is code for early release. So in their system, you can just like push a button and be like, I want to leave early today.
Yeah, I didn't get my ER, even though I had a morning shift. And I'm like, you can literally release me 2 hours early and still have more than enough people to cover Mission Space. And I was like, why don't you release me early? We also went to Universal quite a bit. Tori got a season pass, which was like for 4 months, I guess, like the last.
No, it's the year. It's the whole year. They just call it that.
Well, Tori got that. I only got like a 2-day park hopper ticket. The first day I went with Tori, and the second day I went with my boyfriend. But that's all I really needed.
I don't really know why I bought a Universal Pass. But when the pandemic hit, I was glad I did because Universal opened before Disney, so it gave me something to do again. That was pretty like low key. Like it sounds really unsafe to go into a park at that time, but really parks were kind of the safest places because they were the strictest with upholding the standards of like 6 feet apart and stuff. So
And there weren't a whole lot of people until
yeah, and
like
they were
September.
like dead. Like before Labor Day of 2020, when the parks were open, Disney and Universal, they were dead. Like no one was there. We were walking on to Flight of Passage like 3 times a day. Like I'm not kidding you. And yeah, like finished everything in Magic Kingdom by like 2 p.m. Like
Mhm.
crazy. um which also, by the way, I got to do cast preview of Magic Kingdom reopening after the pandemic started. So that was cool. But yeah, man, it was just dead. You're going there to work. It's true. They have classes and things for you to take if you want.
You can get time off of work for
too.
that too. Like they'll
Yeah.
schedule around the classes you sign up for.
Yeah. There was like some leadership class where you took like 5 things, you got some certification. I mean, Disney's a great place to learn leadership and management skills, like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you're there to work and you're probably going to get the worst and the craziest shifts because you are a CP, so you are bottom of the ladder. Hate to break it to you, you're not probably going to be getting nice opening shifts where you leave at 2 p.m. and have the rest of the day to go to the park. Like, probably not. In fact, most of my shifts I was starting in like the mid to late afternoon or evening and working until 3:30 a.m. every night. Yay. But it was actually really fun. I got to be in Magic Kingdom when it was closed. I got to see the stuff that goes on after they close the gates. Like, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, had to definitely adjust my sleep pattern. And then I was, sleeping in late, and my roommates were only off early in the morning. So I never saw them because I was asleep when they were awake. But it all worked out,
All right. Anything else to add, or is it quiz time?
I guess quiz time.
Okay.
I could talk forever about the Emporium. But...
Same. Feel free to leave a comment or message us on our Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah.
We don't have our personal Instagrams, which will be in the description, and then our podcast TikTok, Long Distance Sisters 3, also in the description. But yeah, ask us any questions. We're always down to talk about it. While I'm typing this in, you should also know that you can also get into Disneyland and any foreign, like international Disney park, by being a Walt Disney World cast member. So I know some friends who went out to Disneyland while they were on their college program, which is very cool. I did not take advantage of that, but if it's something you're able to get time off for, then I highly recommend it. And you can't call out on a day and then go try to use your ticket at Disney World or Disneyland or anywhere else.
Yeah, you cannot enter the park on a day that you're scheduled to work and called out.
Yeah. Or like
you got the time off approved, or if you switch your shift with someone, that's fine, but not if you call out.
Yeah.
But they actually, honestly, their system was really good. It was pretty easy to switch shifts with people, or take shifts from people, or give away your shifts. So yeah, it's doable. I mean, you don't have to work, but you kind of need money.
Yes, you do. Okay, so this week's quiz, which we will link in the description, is pick 9 Disney characters and will reveal which Disney World park you're most like. So the first character is to pick a princess, and they have all 12 princesses listed.
Every prince.
So mine's Ariel.
Mine'll be Belle.
Not Pocahontas? I thought that was your favorite.
Well, I mean, it's just I feel in Belle right now.
Okay. Pick a lady. Jane Porter, Wendy Darling, Lilo, Kaida, Alice, Megara, Esmeralda, Giselle, or Leia.
Oh, I love the Disney lady.
I know.
How do I pick?
It's so hard for me. It's between like Kaida, Lilo, and Jane.
I'm between like Wendy, Alice, and Meg. But I also love Jane and Esmeralda. And like Lilo's amazing. So what?
I think I'm gonna go with Jane Porter from Tarzan, if you don't know her.
I'm gonna go with Wendy.
All right, now pick a prince. And these have the 12. Okay, the prince, aka Prince Florian, Prince Charming, Philip, Eric, Adam,
What'd you call him?
Aladdin,
Prince?
Shang, Naveen, Flynn Rider, Kristoff, John Smith, or Simba. I'm going with Eric.
What did you call Snow White's prince?
Prince Florian.
Since when is that his name?
Since always.
I think he's just the unnamed prince.
Prince Florian. Look.
But where did they take that from? I've heard Ferdinand, but I know that's wrong.
I don't know. Disney France once revealed in a TV spot that his real name is Florian. Also gives Prince Charming's real name is Henry.
All right. Anyway,
Prince Ferdinand of Florian Ideas? Okay, well, Prince Florian. That's what I know him as.
I choose Prince Eric, even though he's dumb as a rock, apparently.
How dare you say that about the hottest Disney prince?
Well, he couldn't figure out that Ariel could just write down words.
Maybe she didn't. Well, maybe it's common that people don't know how to write.
And he couldn't remember what she looked like.
Well, when
And
you're
he just went
delusional.
on to the next girl that walked in front of him
That is true.
the
Okay.
night after kissing Ariel.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway,
Okay.
good guy.
Good guy. Tarzan, Hercules, Milo Thatch, Peter Pan, Quasimodo, or Cusco.
Hercules.
I'm gonna go with Milo.
He's cute.
Did you go with Tori? Hercules?
Yeah.
Okay. Pick a villain. Jafar, Ursula, Hades, Scar, Maleficent, Dr. Facilier, Shere Khan, Captain Hook, or Gaston. I like Maleficent. She has every right to be petty that she was the only person in the kingdom not invited to Aurora's christening.
I don't like villains. I don't get why people like villains.
I don't
That's
either.
fine. I don't like villains, but I'm gonna pick Shere Khan.
My actual favorite villain is, oh my god, Tamatoa from Moana.
Oh yeah, I guess.
He has a great song. Shiny's the best villain.
Bioluminescent algae. I ate my grandma.
All right. Pick a duo. Timon and Pumbaa, Lumiere and Cogsworth, Buzz and Woody, Han and Chewie, Jacques and Gus, Mike and Sully.
Ooh. Jacques and Gus Gus.
I think I'm gonna do Timon and Pumbaa. And I think Pumbaa's superior to Timon. But they're great together. Okay. Pick a sidekick. Flounder, Sven, Mushu, Tinkerbell, Genie, or Pegasus.
Flounder.
Sven. All right, pick a pet. Raja, Bolt, Tramp, Maximus, Oliver, Nana, Max, Doug, or Sen. Oh, this is so
I think
good.
Raja.
Banana. Banana. For father. Oh, I'm between Nana and Raja too. I need to just choose.
Oliver was.
I'm gonna go with Raja as well. Such a good tagger. Okay, pick an Avenger: Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain America, Hawkeye, Thor, or Hulk. I'm Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye. I haven't seen the show, but I'm working on watching the Marvel movies in order, like I said, in our 2021 favorites.
Then how do you know if you're Hawkeye?
No, he's my favorite, but I haven't seen the show.
Then how do you know?
That's what I was saying. Because he's in the Avengers movies and the first Thor movie.
All right. Well, I'm picking Iron Man.
Is he in the second Thor movie too?
Oh my gosh! I got Magic Kingdom.
Wow.
That.
What's your description?
Like this magical park, you're optimistic, bubbly, and you still believe in happily ever afters. You love to laugh, let your imagination roam free, and burst out into song. Very true.
I got Disney's Hollywood Studios, aka MGM Studios. Life is a stage for you. You're very career-oriented and goal-driven, and you're willing to work hard until you've achieved your dreams. True, very true. You also have a flair for the theatrical and love to tell stories. You live your life as if you were the protagonist in your own film. I feel like the career-oriented and goal-driven and hardworking part is true. I wouldn't exactly say I'm theatrical or I view myself as the protagonist. I'm more like the best friend, the quirky best
friend. Maybe not theatrical, but you are dramatic.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is this advertisement on the side? We don't need that. I don't know. What is that? Oh, sorry, everyone.
Condom. Serena also took it. She got Animal Kingdom. You're extremely aware of the environment and take a deep interest in preserving its beauty. You love animals and feel most at peace when you are outdoors. Much like this park, you devote your life to the appreciation and protection of our planet.
That's me.
Very Serena.
That's me too.
Yeah, but
Hollywood Studios was half right.
I would say it's like your likes and your loves and your passions are not necessarily your personality traits.
I still think Animal Kingdom better suits me.
Yeah, but you want it to say career oriented and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be that if it was Animal Kingdom.
I'm still Animal Kingdom.
You can't have it all, McKenna.
But that is all for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on our social medias listed in the description. You can take the BuzzFeed quiz yourself, and that link will also be in the description. And we can't wait to talk to you guys again next week.
Yeah, comment your DCP stories, questions, your quiz results, anything, and we will see you next week when Serena will be back. I don't know what we're talking about yet. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this week's Long Distance Sisters. Be sure to subscribe for more episodes and leave a good review.
And check out the video version on our YouTube channel.
You can find all of our other social media information in the description.
Talk to you later.
Bye.